All right, what is going on, guys? It is Wilson from Function Powersports. Today, we're gonna be running over all things suspension on your UTV. So if you've got a side-by-side, you've been looking at maybe lifting it or doing a portal kit, or you need to know if you want forward A-arms, or you're just looking for that extra additional ground clearance, we're gonna cover the different options in today's video. We're actually gonna install some of these things. We're gonna have Banker in the garage put it on Chris's 22 Razor XP 1000. Let's get into this. All right, so when it comes to upgrading the suspension on your UTV, typically you're trying to answer one of three questions. One, I want it to look cool, right? Jacket to the sky, bigger just looks better. It's just a fact, we all know that. Two, you're looking for an additional ground clearance, right? So say you're going over rocky terrains, you're scraping A-arms, you're scraping trailing arms, you're looking for just that extra lift when it comes to actually riding and using your machine. Or three, you're looking to add a bigger wheel and tire, whether that's for aesthetics, whether that's for better traction out on the trails or on the rocks. You may just be looking for that bigger wheel and tire. Well, we're gonna kind of cover each of those different sections and what options you have that might best suit the needs that you're gonna need for your UTV. All right, the first option, not really a focus for us today, is a spring spacer kit. Little piece of aluminum, goes in between the shock and the mounting point, lifts it maybe 1 inch, sometimes 2. Cheap, easy, not kind of really what we're focusing on today, but that is definitely the entry-level option. All right, so next up is the most common way to lift your UTV, and that's gonna be a bracket lift kit. Now these come in all different sizes. You have a small kit, you have a big kit. Small, typically 3 to 5, big is gonna be 6 to 10. A bracket lift kit essentially moves the shock mounting points in a way where it pushes the A-arms down, allows you to get a little bit more clearance. Whether, like I said, whether that's 3 to 5 in a small lift kit, which is pretty basic. When you get into the 6 to 10s, you need to start looking at other things like axles, because that is actually gonna change the geometry of your suspension a ton. All right, and finally, we're gonna be coming down to portals. Now, portals are the stuff that you're gonna see on the big machines. There's a few advantages, maybe some disadvantages when it comes to portals. One of the cons being they are expensive, right? $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, but they are made for a reason and for a purpose. A portal lift kit actually allows you to not alter the suspension geometry because they bolt right on the hub, right? So they're replacing the hub and the axle actually goes straight into them where it would in a factory system, and then it pulls it down, and then where the wheel actually mounts to it is 4, 6, 8, 10, however big the actual portal is mounted down here. So you get that lift, but the suspension geometry stays the same. One of the other benefits that you gain with a portal is you get your gear reduction built into the portal. So obviously when you're running one of those big setups, whether it's 44-inch tires or 50-inch tires, you need that gear reduction because the UTV is not set up to spin that big of a wheel. So you get that 30, 40, 50, 60% gear reduction, which allows you to still create that torque, that low-end torque that you need for getting through mud. But it is an easy way, and again, it saves the suspension geometry that you're looking for, but it is, the cost of entry for these things is gonna be 2, 3, 4 times as much as, say, a bracket lift kit. So if you're looking for that big suspension lift because you're doing mud, a portal just might be the right one for you. But one of the things we didn't talk about was A-arms, rear trailing arms, right? So this is for that guy who maybe doesn't really want that lift too much, but they're looking for that extra ground clearance. So, or maybe just running a little bit bigger of a tire. Maybe you can, this is the difference between you running a 32 and a 35 or a 33, right? Because you're gonna have a little bit more clearance in that wheel well. So companies like Highlifter make like a forward A-arm kit, right? They're gonna actually push the suspension forward, they're gonna rake it forward, I think about 1.5 inches on one of their ones for, say, the XP 1000, which that's actually what we're putting on today as one of their Apex kits. So it's gonna actually push it forward 1.5 inches. I think it allows clearance for up to 34.5-inch tires without a lift involved. So they're gonna be stronger, more durable, able to handle more. Two, they're gonna give you that more ground clearance, so you're not scraping on rocks, you're not getting stuck on rocks, you can clear a little bit more things. Same thing with the rear trailing arm. It's gonna give you that better rear entry for your tires. When you're actually coming into rocks or going down, whatever it is, you're not scraping it right in front of the back wheel where the factory one actually has it. So you're gonna get more clearance in the rear, more clearance in the front. So if you're not looking to do a full lift kit, A-arms, rear trailing arms, definitely a good plus for you. It's not really an extreme upgrade, but it's definitely a beneficial one. All right, so now you know a little bit more about the suspension upgrades. We're actually gonna be installing some of these on Chris's RZR XP 1000. It's a 2022 model. We have the Apex front upper and lower control arms, or A-arms. We have the rear trailing arm, and we have the Signature Series 3 to 5 inch lift kit, all from High Lifter. They were awesome to send that stuff out to us. So we're gonna actually have Banker install it. I'm not gonna install it because I don't wanna install it.
We don't need that anymore. Yeah, we don't need that anymore.
Oh, we definitely need to keep that.
Chris is gonna be a mud bog man. You gotta give the function kids what they want.
What's going on?
Rocking on. Fine Friday.
So what do you think of this lift kit install so far?
Professional assembly required. Just grab my can. Roost guard to the back, I guess.
Especially when people bring them in covered in mud. Couldn't be me.
Half the problem is we started on a Friday. Too damn busy.
Hey, you told me you had nothing going on.
I know, except for the showroom.
Sure.
All right, so up front, we've got the High Lifter Apex upper and lower control arms with the ball joints that were pre-installed. All right, moving on, then we've got the Signature Series 3.5 inch lift kit. This is front and rear. This is an awesome upgrade. It's easy, it's affordable. And last but not least, we've got the High Lifter rear trailing arms. These are gonna give you that extra 2 to 2.5 inches of ground clearance in the rear. This is gonna help you clear that terrain so you're not grabbing as you drive past.